This is where the full extent of Yemen's hunger crisis is played out. The Aslan clinic in the country's northwest. Helpless mothers bring babies desperate for food. Asia Mohammed is severely malnourished. On every bed lies a tiny victim of this civil war. 10-year-old Asaf has the body weight of a 2-year-old. Her skeletal frame devastated by hunger and malnutrition.
Life for us is brutal, especially here.
While the United Nations can get limited supplies in, it's called on warring sides to loosen their grip on key cities.
Before there was meat, there was food, there was salad, everything. Today there is nothing. Now there's only hunger.
This is why the flashpoint city of Hodeidah, rebel-held but undergoing a massive government offensive. 70% of the country's food imports come through the port. Peace talks underway in Sweden are trying to ease the siege. But the man mediating between the sides says a breakthrough on Hodeidah and another key battleground will be hard won.
If we are able to achieve progress on those two places and lift the threat of war to the people in those two places, I think we'll have done a great service to the Yemen, and it will be a huge boost to when we get back together again early next year.
At stake is the fate of millions of starving children and the future of Yemen.
I'm now joined by Geert Capellere from UNICEF. He's a regional director and responsible for UNICEF's operations in Yemen. Welcome, Mr. Capellere. We saw some very distressing images of children in Yemen. You've just returned from there. Tell us what you saw there.
Well, Yemen has become hell on earth for millions of Yemeni children. Every 10 minutes, a child is dying from preventable diseases. Those figures are mind-boggling, but the reality hits only hardest when you are indeed in Yemen, when you engage with the children, when you engage with their fathers, mothers, people who try to save lives. Then only you realize how deep the crisis is.
Now, the warring sides in Yemen's civil war are currently holding peace talks. How optimistic are you that these talks will work, and how important are these talks for your humanitarian work?
On behalf of the millions of Yemeni children, we need to remain very hopeful. Important, however, small steps have been set last week in settling peacefully the conflict in Yemen. Settling the conflict is critical for the millions of Yemeni children, and not tomorrow. It needs to happen now.
Now, apart from ending the conflict, Mr. Capellere, what else can be done to help ease the desperate suffering in Yemen that you've been seeing and talking about?
Well, first, in the absence of a peaceful settlement, organizations like UNICEF need no single more obstacles to allow us delivering this much-needed humanitarian assistance. Too often, all parties to the conflict are creating unnecessary obstacles, preventing us from delivering the assistance in time, preventing us from delivering the assistance at the scale that is needed. But also very important, on top of the end of the conflict, is for the international community to reinvest massively in Yemen. Unfortunately, Yemen has been governed for decades in a way that led to deep underdevelopment. Unfortunately, Yemen has been governed with little attention for the Yemeni people, and definitely not for the Yemeni children. So what we need in Yemen is, on top of peace, is a reinvestment with at the center the millions of Yemeni children.
Geert Capellere from UNICEF, thank you very much for talking to DW.
Thank you.